We have some major breaking news that has been reported that Broc Feenay is looking to make starts in NASCAR in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said in the Senate, we got some pretty massive major breaking news this afternoon, as it has been reported by Speed Cafe that Broc Feenay is looking to make some starts in NASCAR in 2025. Stefan Bartholomew has reported that AAA driver Broc Feenay is poised to become the next supercar star to try his hand at NASCAR in the United States. He apparently was at Martinsville Speedway a couple weekends ago, being there as a guest with Shane Van Gisbergen, and was actually, I believe, on the Trackhouse pit box as well. Now, Broc Feenay has confirmed to Speed Cafe that he's hoping to make his debut in the stock car racing scene this year, but he still does not have a deal officially done currently at the moment. However, Speed Cafe is reporting at this time that Broc Feenay is in line for some Xfinity Series races in 2025 on multi-race deals, which of course, they were the team that Shane Van Gisbergen drove for in the NASCAR Xfinity Series last year, and also made starts in the Cup Series last year, 2024, as he was working on a development deal and was developing himself to be a full-time Cup Series driver in 2025. Shane Van Gisbergen did not win a race in the Cup Series with Kaulig Racing last year, but he did win 3 races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He picked up wins at Portland, Sonoma, and of course the Chicago Street Course. And what's really interesting is, of course, Broc Feenay drives for AAA Engineering. Shane Van Gisbergen, for a lot of time of his career, he of course drove for AAA Engineering. Now, as reported, there are a few races that are still not conflicted currently at the moment with the Supercar schedule. Those 3 races are Mexico City, the Chicago Street Course, and the Portland race that will take place in August. That race got moved from the middle of June last year, around the Gateway weekend last year, all the way to August, around, I believe, the Southern 500 weekend for 2025. This is a really, really big deal. For those who do not know who Broc Feenay is a sensation. He is only 22 years old currently at the moment, but Broc Feenay has been very successful in supercars. He's only been racing in a series for about 3 or 4 years, and he's already won 13 races and finished runner-up in the championship in 2024 and came very close to winning the championship. I believe Will Brown won the title last year in 2024. He's looking to try to win his first championship in supercars this year. And I think that there is a potential possibility down the road, depending on how successful this is, if this deal does come through. I think he has a really great chance and opportunity to be really strong and very, very competitive. Kaulig Racing Equipment, well, yes, they're not one of the top organizations out there in Xfinity anymore. They were really good at road courses. When AJ Allmendinger ran for them, he won like 10 Xfinity road course races with the team. And then, of course, you think about Shane Van Gisbergen, like I mentioned a second ago. He scored 3 wins for the team in the Xfinity Series. And I think so far this year, they've had a little bit more speed in 2025 compared to the speed they had in 2024. Now, realistically, the most likely race we are going to see him is probably Chicago. That would be the one that makes the most sense. A lot of the V8 supercar drivers kind of compare Chicago Street Course to some of those races like they have in Adelaide, of course. So I think that would be a really good track for Broc Feenay to go ahead there. Or like Surfers Paradise is. It's kind of like that. I think that's the race he likely go to. And realistically, depending on how fast he is and how quick he gets up to speed, I think he has a really solid chance and a really, really good opportunity to be really strong and really competitive. But that is not there. It is currently being reported at this time right now that Will Brown apparently is in talks and conversations as well to make his return to NASCAR in 2025, as it's expected that Will Brown is going to make a one-off start with Kaulig Racing in the NASCAR Cup Series at the Chicago Street Course. It's what he's being linked at currently at the moment to make a start for them at Chicago. Now, it had been reported originally that he was going to be driving for Richard Childress Racing this year in the number 33 machine. That, I believe, has changed because I believe Austin Hill is driving a 33 car at the Chicago Street Course this year, so I guess that deal fell through there. But it looks like it's going to be a third Kaulig car because both of the Kaulig cars currently at the moment are set. You, of course, have AJ Allmendinger in the 16 and Ty Dillon in the number 10 machine. You look at their Cup program this year, they've actually been better this year than they were last year. Now, I think one of the big reasons is because AJ Allmendinger, but Ty Dillon's been better. Plus, you've got the RCR affiliation with Kaulig Racing that has been doing much, much better. I think Broc Feenay, though, coming in is a huge deal. But going back to Will Brown, I think Will Brown actually driving for Kaulig will do a much better job than RCR. We go back to the race last year that Will Brown drove, and Will Brown unfortunately had a lot of unfortunate factors that really came into play. Will Brown unfortunately had electrical failures throughout the weekend, had a really fast car at Sonoma, and was getting helped by Shane Van Gisbergen there. But I think that he could have honestly had a chance to win that race and gone up against guys like Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Larson and Chris Buescher and even his teammate teammate AJ Allmendinger for the win. Had it not been for that, I think Will Brown is, especially with the experience now, I think he's going to be very quick. And I think he's got a great chance and opportunity to go out there and win that Chicago race. I really think he's going to be a factor. And I know SVG is a favorite going into that weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised if see Connor Zilisch make some starts as well. As for this is a big deal, and I have to think that Red Bull, especially since Red Bull is affiliated with the AAA team, and of course with Shane Van Gisbergen as well, I have to think they're going to be involved in some way, shape, or form with Broc Feenay when he comes over. But the big thing I have to ask is, what about the potential possibility of Broc Feenay maybe going full-time NASCAR in 2026? I think that is certainly possible, but it has to depend on how much he enjoys it and how much he likes it. The one thing for Broc, though, is he is a lot younger than a lot of drivers who come over from the supercar scene. When Marcus Ambrose came in, he was in his mid-30s and didn't really stay around too long because Marcus Ambrose came in at a much later date. Shane Van Gisbergen, who is one of the best supercar drivers in history and has already got a cup win at this point, he, of course, was 34, 35 when he made the transition, and Will Brown, of course, was about 28 or 29 when he did it, and then you think about Cam Waters as well. Cam Waters is around, I believe, 28 or 29 as well. We haven't heard if he's making any starts currently at the moment for 2025, and we also saw Brody Kosecki come in. This is a continuation of the V8 supercar movement, and I think that it will be really exciting to see what Broc Feenay can do if this deal, of course, goes through. And I would have to think that this may not just only be for the Xfinity Series for Broc, but I also think there's a chance and opportunity that this could lead to maybe some Cup Series starts down the road as well. I look for him to be a factor to win Chicago, but he's going to have some big competition if he's going to run the Chicago race. Shane Van Gisbergen, going to run the Xfinity Series race. Connor Zilisch, we know he's a fantastic road course racer. I believe there's going to be some Hendrick drivers maybe running. I'm not entirely sure at the point. I think there's a Hendrick driver scheduled for that race, not Kyle Larson at this time. But you've got other guys in the field. Austin Hill's solid. Justin Allgaier is a pretty good road course racer. You name it, there's a lot of great drivers. Christian Eck is a pretty underrated one at that. And I think there's a lot of really good talent that is going to be in this series. And I just think it's huge that you've got this Australian supercar movement that is continuing to make its transition over. And I think Broc will have a solid chance and opportunity if he does very, very well. I'm excited to see what happens here and excited to see if this truly becomes possible. But it seems like the fact that it's becoming more and more likely that we're going to see this, I think that's really exciting and amazing. And I really hope Broc Feenay can do a solid and good job in his runs in NASCAR in 2025. I don't know how many races exactly is going to be. It sounds like it's a multi-race deal, perhaps. We'll just have to wait and see what happens as more information does come out. But I think it's pretty exciting that the supercar movement is continuing to come in. And I think it's pretty cool that Broc Feenay will get the chance and opportunity, more than likely, to race in NASCAR in 2025. So, that is going to take special breaking news report on Broc Feenay. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go more of that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your thoughts about the potential possibility of Broc Feenay coming in and racing in NASCAR? Do you think he'll be successful, or do you think he's going to struggle? I think he's actually going to be successful, but let me know how you think he is going to do. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have a video talking about Kyle Busch and what his future will be looking like for 2026. If there's any major news that does break throughout the day, we'll discuss here live on the channel. And then, of course, on Friday night, depending on the weather, there's potential weather in the area. We might have the truck review or might have a postponed video coming. And then on Saturday, we're going to have reactions to the Xfinity Series race. And then, of course, we are going to have the qualifying reactions for the Cup race. And then, of course, on Sunday, we're going to have the review for the Food City 500. And if the truck race gets postponed to Sunday, we'll have a review on that as well. And then on Monday, we should have multiple NASCAR news videos dropping. I'm probably not just doing one or two because we've had a lot of news today break. We'll talk about Catherine Legge, Broc Feenay again, Sammy Smith running the Truck Series race, Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Lawrence, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Red Bull, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Connor Zilisch, Bubba Wallace, a lawsuit between 25 Front Row, Michael Jordan. I've got silly season predictions for 2026 dropping sometime this week, probably around Easter. And I do, of course, will have a scheduled predictions and maybe a silly season update that is going to be coming very, very soon as well. Also, Sam Mayer, Charlotte Creed, includes Farland, Matt Benedetto, Frankie Muniz, all the good stuff will be dropping on the channel in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.